Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to 90 at 9, brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand. This is your morning briefing where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. Starting now with news, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has closed down 390 points overnight. The S&P 500 was down 3.1%. Amazingly, this wasn't as bad as it could have been. At one stage, the Dow was down almost 500 points. That followed a fall on European stock markets of between 4 and 5%. That's a slump. There are real worries now about a global recession spreading from the United States to Europe and potentially to China. This was all sparked by a warning from the US Federal Reserve yesterday and has been worsened overnight by fresh data, including Chinese factory output down for the third month running. Euro area output shrank for the first time in 2 years. US jobless claims were worse than expected. There's also a report that Europe may have to recapitalise 16 of its mid-tier banks. French credit default swaps rose to over 200 points. There is, in many parts of the market, panic and fear. Moody's, meanwhile, downgraded Bank of America, Citi and Wells Fargo. And there are concerns the Fed's twist will actually reduce bank profits because instead of being able to borrow short and lend high at higher interest rates, the twist is lowering those long-term interest rates. Meanwhile, US support is seen less likely for those banks, according to Moody's. And there is concern about political divisions on both sides of the Atlantic and a lack of ammunition by central banks to try and fix the problem. As if to compound it, the US government is set to shut down in 10 days unless Congress can pass a law getting spending going again. Surprisingly, Republicans blocked a move to keep spending going past September 30. Meanwhile, all this turmoil on global markets has seen the New Zealand dollar fall sharply to under 78 US cents. It was actually worsened by very weak GDP figures here yesterday. The OCR seems well and truly on hold into next year. And all this turmoil saw oil drop 6% to under 80 US dollars a barrel, and even the gold price down 4% to $1,733 an ounce. The big rush is for safe havens in Treasury bonds. The US 10-year Treasury bond, can you believe this, under 1.7%. That's lower than it was in 1941 during the midst of the Second World War. And the 30-year Treasury bond now under 2.8%. I'm Bernard Hickey. That was 90 at 9, brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand. And on daylight today, all we can say is let's hope the All Blacks beat the French. Go the All Blacks. Cheers.